Welcome everyone to Numerical Gems. Parsha Tetzaveh is the second Torah portion that speaks about the building of the tabernacle. In the previous Parsha of Truma, it says, God says, V'asuli mikdash v'shechanti b'tocham. Make for me a holy place, and I will dwell in its midst. This idea of making a holy place for God, that God can dwell there, this becomes we'll call it the meeting place between God and humanity, God and Israel. The beginning of Parsha Tetzaveh is V'ata Tetzaveh. God is speaking to Moshe and says, and you shall command Israel. And then the particulars of the building of the tabernacle. An amazing gematria is that V'ata Tetzaveh, and you shall command, equals exactly the first word of the Torah, Bereshit, in the beginning. So the question is asked, what's the connection here? What's the connection of Bereshit, the first word of creation? What does it have to do with, and you command? So here we see a beautiful idea, and that is, if you take the letters of V'ata and you permute them differently, it equals Ta'ava, which is passion. So this becomes even more mysterious. How is it that the word passion is found in this word V'ata? What is it telling us? And what is its connection to Bereshit? When discussing the various reasons why God may have decided to create the world, the most enigmatic of all of them is the following statement. The hitaveh HaKadosh Baruch Hu liot lo dira b'tachtonim. That God had a passion. Hitaveh HaKadosh Baruch Hu. God had a passion to have a dwelling place in the lower worlds. Now we can understand the connection between Bereshit and these words, V'ata Tetzaveh. Because here God is telling Moshe, and you command them to build the Mishkan. And the Mishkan is the dwelling place that God envisions that he wants to have in this world. So here we see that V'hitaveh HaKadosh Baruch Hu liot lo dira b'tachtonim, that God had a passion to have a dwelling place in the lower worlds. The Mishkan, the tabernacle, represents that. That's the representation of God's desire to have a dwelling place in the lower worlds. So this is just a very, very beautiful numerical gem, which is really explaining the very purpose of creation. And the question is, how do we understand God having a passion? And so the Alter Rebbe said, about this kind of passion, we can't even imagine. It is a bit beyond our understanding. But nonetheless, we have this tradition that God wanted a dwelling place in this world. Not just in the higher worlds, the angelic worlds, the worlds of spirituality, but God wanted his presence, the knowledge of God, to reach all the ways to the most physical and material of worlds. And From this we can learn that ultimately the physical material world is meant to be infused with godliness, with spirituality, with holy consciousness. So this passion of God, we should also learn from this. If God had a passion to have a dwelling place in the lower worlds, meaning that God wants a relationship with us. God wants a relationship not just with physicality and materialism, but he wants it with human beings. He wants it with the Jewish people. He wants it with all humanity. And so at the time of Mashiach, then all the prophets said that the light of God, the revelation of God, will surpass anything that we can imagine now. And it will reach and infuse all of physical reality with that light, with godliness. May we all merit to see that, and may we also take this as a lesson that if God had a passion to have a dwelling place in this world with us, then our service of God should be full of love and passion to connect to our Creator.